Welcome to the Vermilion Podcast, a free audio library of business strategies, creative inspiration, and industry knowledge for actors, filmmakers, writers, and anyone looking to activate their creative potential. I'm Misha Calvert, a writer-director who helps artists build the careers that they dream of. I really hope that this podcast inspires you in some way. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to talk today about mental and emotional support. It's a very challenging time for people in the United States. I will speak as somebody who is deeply worried about our country and about the state of our government. I'm deeply worried about censorship, particularly of artists, and I fear for the future of our country, of our planet. So this is what a lot of the people in my network and community are also thinking and feeling. There's a lot of terror, deep resentment, anger, rage, panic, and I think all of that is completely normal. On top of all of the trauma of trying to be an artist and figure out how to survive while being a creative, and all of that, has been around for thousands of years of artists trying to find their place in society. So to say that it's a hard time to be a sensitive artist is like understatement of the frickin' year. And I want to offer what I have found to be extremely supportive tools that anyone can pick up and utilize to get into a better place. 5 years ago, I was not in a good place. And long story short, I've talked about this before, but I was going to get married to somebody. I was madly in love with him. It was not a healthy relationship, and I didn't realize it at the time. So when he left me, I had no network, and I had nothing prepared for my being out in the world alone. I didn't have a support system set up to catch me, and I also I don't think I had almost any of these tools. So mentally and emotionally, it almost broke me. I had to figure out tools real fast to get okay, because I think it was one of the most challenging things that I've been through as an adult. I was beyond devastated, beyond. So anyone who knows what that's like to feel like, I don't know how I can get through this, or I've lost everything, the roof over my head, I've lost this person forever, stuff like that. I want to give you these tools that helped me during that time, because now, cut to 5 years later, and all this horrific stuff is going on in the world that is, a matter of life and death. It's not politics. It's life and death for people. So I want to acknowledge that. And I also want to say that I am doing so well because of these tools. But I want to empower you to be in the mix of what's happening globally and nationally, and also be okay. Because you can't really do much good if you're not okay. You can't really change what's happening around you if you're not feeling at your best, or at least functional. These tools will help you to get functional. You do have to actually work them, right? You can't just say, oh yeah, that's great, and then not do it. You actually have to start to use them. But if you use them, just like, exercise and good diet and all that, you will see results. I promise. So if you look around and hate what you see happening in the world, get yourself to a really good place. I now have more energy. I have more optimism. I'm more emotionally regulated. I'm able to take on stress in much larger quantities and for longer than ever before. My sleep has improved. My physical health has improved. I am happier. And I'm making more money, and my career's in a better place. My relationships are in a better place. So I really attribute it to these tools that I'm about to outline for you right now. So if you're ready for deep transformation, emotional release, and psychological evolution, improvement of where you are now, I invite you to try on just one of these this month and see how you do. The first one that I want to talk about is seeing a therapist. And I'm kind of meh about it. It's the most common on this list. It's the thing that when people say, are you getting support? Do you have someone to talk to? They mean a therapist, right? Most of the time. So yes, it's very accessible. It's kind of socially acceptable now, but I find that there's a lot of bad therapists out there. People are overprescribing psychiatric drugs. They're overprescribing SSRIs and Adderall. And so I don't want to default to this as even the main point on this list. It's not the best option, and I don't think it's one that everyone should go to. It's just the one that is sort of the gateway drug to a lot of other healing and improvement modalities and getting to initially cultivate some form of self-awareness. A lot of times the first touch point that people have with creating self-awareness and improving their mental, emotional state is in therapy. So it's fine. If you can find a good one, it can be really good. And if you find a bad one, it can be a waste of your time. So when you're considering therapy, sample a few different practitioners and see what you think. And definitely think twice before jumping on the meds because, for example, there's evidence that SSRIs increase the likeliness that you're going to develop Alzheimer's. Well, I don't like that. No, thank you. And there have been times when I've come really close to getting on SSRIs and something in me just said no. And now the more research I look at about SSRIs, the more I'm really, really glad that I never started. For me, it's a very personal choice. This is not going to be for everyone, but just for me, the meds, they would have prevented me from looking at the deeper issues and getting to the heart of what I needed to examine, whether it was integrating exercise as a critical part of my day or reevaluating my relationship with my family or changing careers, which I've done several times, and really getting to the root of what structurally do I need to change about my life in order for me to feel okay. Again, this isn't everybody. There's definitely cases where, someone's really in need of medical intervention from a psychiatrist. So I just want to say, even given all that, I still think that psychiatric meds are overprescribed. The next tool on this list is EMDR. It's kind of an offshoot of psychology, and it's a special kind of treatment where you essentially, whether you're guided by a therapist or not, you're linking up the left and right hemispheres of your brain in order to process trauma fully for the first time. It's really incredible. It's the most effective PTSD treatment out there. And it's really intense as well because you go back into the memories that are bothering you or the point of trauma, and you essentially re-experience it and give yourself a positive outcome while doing eye movements left and right. And the eye movement is what gets your left and right hemispheres talking to each other in the brain. So it's extremely effective. You can look up a YouTube clip if you want and see, they have like the light beam moving back and forth. Or you can also pay a couple $100 and have an EMDR specialist help you with this. I've done a little bit of it. It's extremely effective. And scientifically, it's the most effective way to treat PTSD and complex trauma. So the next tool that I do daily is hypnosis. And I do it in the form of an guided audio meditation. So it's kind of like a hybrid of meditation and hypnosis, but hypnosis works. It goes straight into the subconscious brain, which is what is driving the bus most of the time, not our conscious brain. Our conscious brain has very little processing power, but the subconscious is really driving most of our decision making during the day and during our lives. So hypnosis goes straight to the subconscious, gets to what I call opening the hood and tinkering with the engine. And I just think it's great. You just have to be in a trance state to receive new programming or create your own programming of, how you want to perceive things that are happening or that have happened. It's not so much changing events, it's changing your emotional relationship to those events. And it works. So I do this daily, anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes a day, usually audio, usually while I'm getting ready. But you can go a lot deeper in with professional hypnotists or psychologists who do hypnosis, and you can basically black out during the session. You don't remember what happened. But I've never done that. I've always been curious. But anyway, hypnosis works. I really recommend it, and it's great. The next tool is meditation. This is less about changing your relationship to things that have happened and more about becoming calm, centered, regulated, and aware of things that come up in your body and in your mind and heart. Meditation changes lives. It's changed the lives of many men that I know. Less women. I mean, this is just me, but I've heard more from the men in my life that meditation has, quote, changed everything for them. I don't know why that might be. If it's because women are naturally more self-aware anyway. But yeah, meditation is great. First of all, it doesn't need to last a long time. You can sit for 5 minutes and that's meditating. It doesn't need to be an hour a day. I know people that hold themselves to a really high standard or get stressed out if they don't sit for an hour a day. And it's like, that's a lot of time. Like, I don't know that I have an hour a day to do anything other than eat and work and maybe work out. But a lot of friends who have never done it before, they think that it's to keep your mind clear. And if your head isn't clear and if you're thinking thoughts, then you're doing it badly, that you're failing. And what's so fascinating about meditating is the act of it is the return to your focus, the return to openness or your breath or a clean slate, an empty mind, a blue sky, whatever it is. If thoughts come in, that's not failing. That's natural. That's normal, right? We can't stop our minds from having thoughts come in, but we can just turn the attention just a little bit toward what we want it to look at instead. So if you spend 5 minutes or an hour sitting and you catch yourself thinking crazy thoughts for that full hour, it doesn't mean that you failed at meditation. It's just how much are you gently returning to your point of focus? All right. Next on my support list is somatic movement. One of the things that made me want to record this episode at all was a very powerful somatic movement class that I hosted last night with my weekly Vermilion members. And I've done enough somatic movement as a student and have taught enough classes, co-taught with my mentor, Kathy Hendrick, who is a somatic healer and an incredible artist and woman, that I'm able now to hold space in a way that people can really have quite profound experiences in the room. And this is what occurred last night at this class that I had. Somatic movement, for those that don't know, is allowing your body to move the way that it wants to as it's processing emotion. So it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. What matters is your connection to your own emotional life and how you allow alchemy in the body to have the emotions move through you so that you can have more emotional freedom and also ideally get to a better and better feeling place and not have anger, grief, or fear stored in the body. This is my understanding of somatic movement. A lot of people have different definitions of somatic therapy, but somatic just means body-based. for me, this is the peak version of somatic movement therapy, what I just described. So in this class that I had last night, everyone enjoyed their movement section. Like, we split off, initially did a group movement where everyone was moving at the same time, and then individuals would do a movement piece in front of the rest of the group. Piece is kind of the wrong word. More just like they had allocated time to move solo, and they picked their own music for that. Everyone really enjoyed it. But one person in particular had the most powerful somatic movement presentation, I guess, that I've ever seen. And they really were fighting some demons, and were going to a place that it was obvious to everybody not many people are willing to go. It was heartbreaking. It made us fall in love with them as a person, as an artist. It was so vulnerable. I was like basically shouting from the sidelines along with this person. And they stopped at the end of the dance and were just standing in the middle of the room, sobbing. Really, really powerful what somatic movement can do for you as a person and as an artist. You know, they were comforted and they were taken care of in that moment. So it's not like we left them out to dry. But just to say that if you haven't never tried a somatic movement class, I highly, highly, highly recommend. And Kathy Hendrick is a master at it. So look her up. I think it's hellokathy.com. But anyway, check her out. And she teaches all the time. And she also does private coaching. Which brings me to my next point. One of the best ways that I have gotten mental and emotional support is through coaching. You might say, that's funny, Misha, you're a coach. Yeah, I love coaching people and I love getting coached. It's this really powerful axis of energy that, I don't know, I just do really well both ways. Like, I love that one-on-one attention and feeling really seen by somebody who can hold me fully in a non-judgmental safe space and who knows more than me. It's so comforting and relaxing to pay a coach who knows more than me and has coached like hundreds, if not thousands of other people, and just can see the bigger picture, can see my blind spots. I love feeling like somebody knows me and can see me better than I can see myself. And I love doing that for other people. Because at this point, I've been coaching in one form or another for 15 years. So most things I have experienced before in that client setting. Most, it's hard to shock me. It's hard to tell me something I haven't heard before. Coaching works. If you're ready to be coached, it works. And having somebody point out your blind spots and give you strategies on how to get to where you want to go is just the best. Just works. So if you can afford it, I say do it, because coaching is awesome. Go to clevermillion.com and check out my coaching offerings. I have one-on-one, I have group coaching. The group coaching is dirt cheap. I think everyone should do it. And the one-on-one coaching, still cheap for coaching. So I try to make it affordable for artists. The next 2 points are connected. They're also really important. I've talked you through some more like self-moderated or professional tools, but the next 2 are about your network. The first is your community. Do you even have one? Many of us do not. There's a loneliness epidemic across many, many different nations and, genders. It's certainly not just men. The digital age is really pulling us apart from each other and out of our bodies and up into our heads and God knows where. I was just on the subway today and I saw an ad for friend.com, which is demonic, in my opinion, an AI friend that you can wear around your neck to replace, I guess, either the absence of friends or the existing friends that you have. I think that years from now, we're going to look back and we're going to study that. And we're going to say, yeah, that's really where humanity fell off a cliff in terms of our social fabric, was with AI friends. Anyway, who is in your community? No one? Well, can you build one? Can you start to go to the places where people do the things that you care about and start to do it with them, alongside them? Yeah, it takes energy. Get up, get out of your bed, get off your couch right now. Go outside, go to a dog park, go to a meeting, go to a volunteer situation, start a meetup, start a monthly dinner club, go to a party, meet some people, right? This community aspect is going to be so important for getting through the next few years. And if you don't know where to start in terms of receiving community, give community. You can still give. Put yourself in a position of empowerment and say, I can reach out and be a support for somebody else. So let me just start there. Volunteering at the animal shelter, volunteering in an elderly care home, volunteering in a high school. Create community, and that will help you feel like you're not alone, you matter, your life matters. It's also one of the things that increases lifespan. People who are alone die earlier, and people who have community live longer. So this brings me to the next tool, which is friends. Friends, different than community. Friends are so great. This is something that I am working on, and I have on my manifestation list, goal list, same thing for me, for this year, to make one new really close friend. I'm really curious about friendship. I want to do a whole episode about this and possibly about making friends as an artist, but it's like community, except even better, because somebody knows you at an intimate level and gives you that feeling of, I matter, my life has purpose, I'm not alone. So much of what drives digital consumption and addiction is a lack of friendship. It's a huge problem because the lack of quality friendships drives us to seek connection online and in digital spaces, which then rewires our brain. Literally, overconsumption causes brain damage, and that makes us less inclined to go out and form new friendships, which then drives us further and further into digital consumption. So really think about, okay, do I have enough friendships in my life? Who do I hang out with? Not just companionship, but who can I come to for emotional support or even unloading? Like if I just need to cry or get something off my chest. Fortunately, my boyfriend is also a very good friend to me, and I'm able to just process emotionally with him. But I'm actively looking for close friends where I can be myself in a really emotionally safe setting. I think they're hard to come by. So if you have good friends, keep them close, especially right now. The last tool on my list is self-support, specifically brain and body health. This might be the number one thing that I recommend for being okay psychologically right now, or always. But it's one of the things that I have found to be the most impactful on how I'm feeling and how well I'm coping. Brain health and body health. And, in my 20s and early 30s, I probably didn't take very good care of myself. I wasn't prioritizing sleep. I ate foods that weren't particularly great for me and was drinking alcohol, and that doesn't sit well with me. Also causes brain damage. So once I started to exercise daily and really be aware of my sleep and and prioritize sleep, I started to feel a lot better. I mean, I continuously increase my levels of stress by how much I take on. I'm running 2 full-time businesses right now, but I'm able to do it because I fixed my brain and body health. If I didn't have good brain and body health, I would not be able to do what I do. And there's no cheat codes or shortcuts to that. It's not like I'm slamming energy drinks. I mean, I drink coffee, but not a ton, and I get enough sleep, and I work out, and I have cut out the people, places, and things in my life that consistently make me feel bad. So check out your brain and your body health and see, am I showing up for myself? Am I caring for myself? Or am I kind of pushing my actual needs to the side in favor of trying to achieve some sort of daily to-do list? Because I can promise you, you're going to achieve your goals a lot faster and better if you are putting your brain and your body first and making sure that the machine is running smoothly and efficiently. And also, hopefully, happily, right? Life is great if you check off a whole bunch of accomplishments, but if you're miserable doing it, what was it all for? I'm thinking of you guys. It's such a terribly disorienting time, and my heart is with you. I'm here for you as much as I can be. And if you're in the weekly group, then you know what I mean, and you know that I mean it. But I hope that you can get the support that you need, and that this list might open up some options for you of places to go for that support. Please take good care of yourself, and if you can, and you have the resources, take good care of somebody else for a moment today, too. I'll see you next week.
The Vermilion Podcast is sponsored by Vermilion, a home for artists. We offer classes, coaching, and community for creatives and innovators in the arts. If you're ready to find your voice and build the life of your dreams, we're here to support you every step of the way. Check out clubvermilion.com and schedule a free call today.